Greetings, free thinkers. Welcome to the Hoggcast. How are you doing today? I hope you're doing fine. I certainly am. Okay, what do we have for you on today's episode? We have a few clips to watch. 2 from CNN and then 1 after, which reinforces my opinion and observations of what I'm seeing. And I know you're seeing it too. A lot of people are. This gets down to the heart of why, because CNN, they really have a bit of a one of those over Joe Rogan at the moment. They seem extremely concerned that people might be listening to him. If you cut through the sea of BS, which is what you have to do, whenever you listen or watch a mainstream media quote-unquote journalist, especially from MSNBC or CNN, they're the 2 worst offenders, you have to have like a dictionary to be able to sift through what their issue is, what their problem really is. And when you do that with this, you see that their main gripe is that there are people out there who are putting across a different opinion, the other side of the debate, and it concerns them. Now, I'm showing you these clips, one, just so you can see just how smug and entitled and elitist these people are. And 2, I'm showing you this clip because it just gets to the heart of why people don't trust the mainstream media. And the thing is, good luck trying to get them to see this. Because these people are all scratching their own heads, wondering why people would listen to Joe Rogan instead of Brian Stelter. They don't... To them, it's a conundrum. They're perplexed by the idea that millions more people, will watch alternative media, Joe Rogan, for example, than Brian Stelter, and they don't like it. They don't even understand it. It's why they pressure YouTube. For example, I used to get regularly before the 2020, before when Trump lost, basically, quote unquote lost, I was getting 30,000 views a month on this small channel, right? It's gone down to 1,500 now because I'm shadow banned and deboosted. These are the people that wanted us shadow banned and deboosted, and this is getting to the heart of why. So we'll get into the clip now. The video. We've got a few clips to watch. If you haven't yet, then please like the video, subscribe to the Hoggcast, hit the notification bell, and share the video around. I do have a membership scheme which you can join. There's a join button down below and a link in the description. I have 8 amazing, beautiful members who honour and humble me that they value my commentary as much as they do to become a member of the Coffee Club or the Gold Club, for example. And you could be member 9 if you so choose, but of course you don't have to. Let's go. Okay, so first clip.
Spotify, you went viral for a comment about it yesterday. Tell us your point of view first about this Spotify mess, because it's really dominated the week.
Yeah, what I think is interesting about the backlash against Spotify vis-a-vis Joe Rogan is that people are fundamentally angry about not being able to stop his audience from wanting news that is bad for them.
What a stupid comment. For example, when she says people, who are these people? This woman, she actually, Kat Rosenfield, it's always Rosens, isn't it? The Rosenfield, the Rosenbaums, you know what I mean, don't you? I'm sure you know what I mean, right? She blocked me on Twitter because I saw this clip and then I messaged on one of her clips because she was being like kind of that metropolitan kind of bubblehead type persona, right? And I said, you just don't get it, do you? You really don't get it. Why people cannot stand. Why there's people out there who would rather die than have to live their lives being told what reality is by this woman or Brian Stelter or Jim Acosta. And I'm one of those people. If life was a choice between being dictated to by Jim Acosta or no life at all, I would choose no life. So her comment is stupid, right? These people, who are these people, right? These people who are concerned about news that is, quote, bad for them. Who gets to decide? This is why I'm showing you these clips. Who gets to decide if news is good or bad for you? What news might be good for you could be bad for me. What might be bad for me could be good for her.
Wanting something that's bad for them. So, we're all haunted by this.
So straight away, who's we all? She's saying we're all haunted. Who's we? Don't put me in with you, woman, right? Now, so straight away, you have the pretense that Joe Rogan, bad. There are so many people out there who don't even stop to think about the way that certain things are framed. Yeah, there are people out there who think that, you know, they probably work. They're probably good people. They work hard. They get home in the evening. They turn on what they think is the evening news, right? And they actually think that what they're being told by this woman here, for example, is factual or good or honest, when it's none of them.
Spectre of this guy who's listening to Joe Rogan and internalizing this bad information and making
Who are you to tell me what's bad information for me? What constitutes bad information? I would love one of these people to tell me what constitutes bad information and what constitutes good information. If you ask them that and they sense a trap, which they probably will, see this is what I mean. This is why you need a dictionary, like a BS detector, like a translator. Whenever you listen to these mainstream media people, they can never just tell you something. It's all wrapped up in rhetoric. It's all wrapped up in gaslighting and innuendo and doublethink and newspeak. They can't just tell you the time of the day. They've got to tell you why 9 a.m. is bad, why 10 a.m. is an ism and an ist, and everyone just loves 11 p.m. Do you know what I mean? They can't just tell you what the time is, right?
bad choices as a result. But Rogan is like a weed that sprang up outside the mainstream media ecosystem.
So she's just referred to Joe Rogan as a weed. Bad information, not good for you. So if you're watching, if you happen to be a CNN viewer, and if you are, I feel sorry for you, and you was watching this and you agreed with that, yeah, Joe Rogan's a weed. Why is he a weed? Because the talking head said so. If that's you, I feel sorry for you, right? But if it is you, I would ask you, if there's anything left of your brain, do you not know, can you not see that right off the bat there is prejudice here against Joe Rogan? This isn't a open-minded, honest discussion. This is a hit piece, right, against Joe Rogan. That's exactly what it's meant to be, and that's exactly what it was, and that's why she got so much backlash on Twitter, from myself included, and she blocked me.
System, and he thrived there, and he has this huge audience, and that's what's really scary.
There you go. Cut through the BS, cut through everything, that the whole pretense. He's got a large audience. That's what's really scary. You see, their grift is being laid bare for all it is.
Spotify could kick him off tomorrow, and it wouldn't make a dent. It wouldn't make a dent in his audience. People would still listen to him, and crucially, they still wouldn't trust more mainstream media sources.
And why do you think that is? So you have to be blind and deaf to not see where this is going. Joe Rogan bad, mainstream media good. Joe Rogan bad information, Brian Stelter good information. Listen to us. Yeah, that's what it is. Oh no, don't listen to him. We should force these content creators, and Joe Rogan's not exactly Mr. Conservative, yeah, but and Joe Rogan's getting all this crap. Imagine what it's like for us, actual conservatives, right? Oh, don't listen to them. Listen to Brian Stelter. So she doesn't understand why people, as she said, even if he got kicked off Spotify, people would still follow him wherever he went, to Getter, to Gab, to wherever, right? They don't, and I'm speaking directly to you now, Mrs. Rosenberg, or Rosenblum, or Rosen, yeah? I'm talking to you, Miss Rosen, right? People, it's reached a point in society now, people don't want to be told what's happening in the world from someone like you. If they're an open-minded person and they watch that, they would be able to tell immediately that you're biased against him. Okay, so is that really good information? Would that not qualify as bad information? Because you are giving us information when it doesn't take a rocket scientist to see that you are biased against him. So you expect us to be informed about a thing or a person that you yourself are clearly biased against. And that's supposed to be what you would call good information. That's bad information. Bearing in mind, I don't believe in the concept of good or bad information. I don't think information can have an alignment. Yeah, it's the person behind it. But if let's go with you. Yeah, you're saying that Joe Rogan gives bad information, right? I would say that you give bad information, and I've just given you an example why. Right, I've just given you an example why. So we'll move on to the next clip. So if that wasn't bad enough, this is what I mean. Like these, who in their right mind wants these three talking heads telling them what information is good and what information is bad? There's people out there, a lot of people, who just don't want you telling us what our own eyes are perfectly good, our ears are perfectly good, and I know this bothers you, Brian Stelter and co, but our brains are still perfectly good, at least those on our side of the political divide, yeah. So now let's listen to this guy here. Look, he looks like a potato wearing a set of spectacles and like a strap-on beard. I'm not trying to be offensive, right? I'm just saying that he does look like a potato with some spectacles and just a strap-on beard, or they get a pen and go dup, 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 all over his face, right? Anyway, I'm just joking.
People who are listening to Joe Rogan's podcast don't necessarily believe it to be bad information. So there was an analogy drawn between Doritos and Joe Rogan's podcast. People know that.
So not only is he a weed, he's now a Dorito.
The Doritos are not necessarily good for them. That you're not going to find a nutritional expert who says, you should eat a lot of Doritos. But there are a lot of people.
You're not going to find a genuine person who understands what's happening in the culture war who's going to tell you that CNN is good for you. The lack of self-awareness in these people.
People who listen to Joe Rogan's podcast who believe that he's actually the truth teller. They believe the opposite, that Joe Rogan is good for an informational diet. And I think that's...
And why do you think that is? Why do you think of the last 10 years there has been a dramatic shift from mainstream media to alternative personalities? Why do you think that is? So you're blaming Joe Rogan, right? You should be blaming yourself. Right, if people don't trust you anymore, that's because of something you've done, right?
What's so important is that the people who are listening to him don't believe it to be bad information, so it's difficult, I guess, for them to make that choice, that good choice.
That good choice? Who are you talking about? Average people on the street? You clearly don't understand the people you're lamenting, right? Oh, it stops them from making a good choice. Good information, bad choice, bad information. Who are you to be the arbiter of what is good for me? I would rather pull my own eyes out than have this person, than to live my life having this person telling me day in, day out what's happening in the world, because it'll be fed through his lens, right?
Of consuming information when they think that the podcast hosting people with anti-vaccine rhetoric is really the...
And there you go, look. The anti-poke rhetoric. They subtly changed that from anti-poke, from anti-mandate to anti-poke. That should tell you all you need to know. You don't need to go deeper down the rabbit hole. If you have an open mind and you know that something is anti-mandate and they subtly change it to anti-poke to try to make you look worse, you don't need to go any further down the rabbit hole. You've already discovered what these people really are.
Yeah, the truth-telling podcast.
Kat, you made the Doritos reference. I rather liked it. What do you say to Oliver?
Of course you rather liked it. Joe Rogan, who you clearly see as a competitor, is being referred to as a weed and a Dorito. Of course you like it. Do you know what people... Brian Stelter, I doubt you're going to see my video, but if you do, and if you've made it this far, do you know what people compare you to? Right? You can compare Joe Rogan to a Dorito, to a weed. Do you know what people refer to you as? Right? If you did, you wouldn't be such a
I think that it just ultimately comes down to the question of how do you want to solve this, and that's sort of where the analogy comes in. Here's people who, they like something that we, who consider ourselves more enlightened, don't think is good.
That is what triggered my response on Twitter. Yeah, that's why she blocked me. Consider ourselves more enlightened, and all of her comments on Twitter after the storm, last night. You could just hear the kind of smug, condescending kind of Starbucks, that kind of tone, that tone of voice. And here she's saying she considers herself more enlightened. She's more intelligent than you. She's more intelligent than me. These people are our betters. Remember that. They are better than us at everything. Yet they get everything wrong. They lie, they cheat, they steal. These are the more enlightened people. They're so enlightened that you need a dictionary, like a bullshit detector, just to try and work out what they're really saying. But that's all part of the mystique, I guess, isn't it? Because, as she said, they're more enlightened. They're better than us mere truckers, us mere warehouse workers, farmers, carpenters, bricklayers, working class people, trade school graduates, salt of the earth people. But no, because she is more enlightened. Yeah.
Good for them. We think that they're internalizing this misinformation, that they're using it to make bad decisions. But
this person wants to control everything about your life. The information you get, she wants to act as quality control for information. Anyone who thinks it's their job to act as quality control for information, you know that they're the ones that need to be watched, right?
if you took away Joe Rogan by deplatforming him, just as if you took away Doritos, would they seek out better information? Would they seek out, like a podcast?
What? Can you define what better information is? Because this is what I mean about the BS detector. You have to look through the translation and all the footnotes and appendices to try and just guess. You don't get a concrete answer, but just to guess what the hell does better information, good information, bad information, misinformation, disinformation. You notice the people that claim to be our betters, more enlightened, are the ones that try and break different pieces of information down into different channels, and they have new words for new things, and they gaslight this and they stonewall that. Yeah? These want you to... If these people just developed a sense of self-analysis, they would be able to answer their own question of why people don't... Between the three of them, on national TV, live on TV, they were unable to work out, between the three of them, why people don't trust them anymore. They're perplexed. They don't get it. I mean, these are the people that are calling everyone else weeds, Doritos. They refer to themselves as enlightened ones. Yeah?
Like New York Times, The Daily, or, would they start reading the Wall Street Journal? I don't know.
There you go. Would they start reading the Wall Street Journal? No, they wouldn't. We don't trust them. We don't trust you. I would rather no longer exist as a human being than be forced to read the New York Times or the Washington Post or whichever drivel you work for. And there's a lot of people out there. I don't want to live my life with you telling me what good information is or bad information. I just switch off. Say, no, I don't want. You could put a TV in my room. Like, they could come to my house, strap me into the bed, and then force me to watch CNN through a screen. I would just keep my eyes closed. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it.
I think that's sort of the fundamental question here.
So it does seem like increasingly this is this completely alternative media ecosystem that has to be understood, and it is that Rogan media ecosystem. And you're saying those listeners are not going to go over to they're not going to read these.
The word you're looking for is mainstream. He didn't want to use it. You see what I mean about the BS detector?
Associated Press if Rogan disappears. So I feel like what Kat you're saying is just taking a more realistic approach to this whack-a-mole of bans.
Yeah, I just think that providing as much information as possible is, in the hopes that it will eventually get to the people who need it, providing.
And what information would that be? Here you are suggesting that Joe Rogan and the likes should be removed. People with, or what was the phrase she used? Bad information. And now you're saying, well, we need to get information to the people. You see, this person is obsessed with information. You should be extremely concerned about this person's intentions, right? Extremely concerned. Yeah.
As much good information as possible is probably a better bet than trying to, shut down somebody who's already got a massive popular platform.
Yeah, because you can't. Do you, and I'm asking you if you're watching this, I know I've been a bit ranty in this video, do you want this person telling you, Kat Rosenfield, telling you what reality is? Do you really, this person, she described herself as more enlightened than you? Yeah?
From reaching the people who are going to seek him out no matter what.
In the case of something like Mouse, you've got this Tennessee school district,
and that's the end of that. Horrendous people, just 3 unsufferable people, unable to understand why people don't want to listen to them. It must be Joe Rogan's fault. It must be bad information. Oh, well, they didn't get enough good information. Joe Rogan's a Dorito. Joe Rogan's a weed. Yeah? People don't want to listen to that. They don't want to listen to you. Have you ever thought that, that you think Joe Rogan's a weed? Have you ever thought that there might be people out there who think you are the weed? But it hasn't, because you've internalized this concept that if it comes out of your mouth, it's good information. If it comes out of Joe Biden, if it comes out of Thingy's mouth, then it's bad Joe Rogan. Sorry, I can't believe I mixed those two people up. But if it comes out of Joe Rogan's, then it's bad information. And I've got one last quick clip to watch. It's not related to this, but it shows you why people don't trust these people who claim to be the enlightened ones. Yeah? I'm sorry I have to subject you to this. I won't interrupt it too long because the video is already long enough. But this, just take a look.
Ready?
Ready.
Roll call. My name's Nicole, and I'm a doctor for kids, and I help parents not lift their lids. Woo! Ready?
Ready.
Roll call.
I'm Dr. Todd. I know the tricks to keeping kids from getting sick.
Woo! Oh my God, Todd! What are we gonna do? It's like people just don't believe us anymore.
I know.
And I wonder why that is. You treat people like they're stupid. Yeah, you're the enlightened ones, aren't you? Yeah, you're enlightened. So these people want you to believe that they are all about science to the point where they've got science written all over them. It looks like science has vomited on these people. Yeah, that's how that's how much they need you to know that they're all about that goddamn science, man. This is aimed at adults. You probably think this is for children. This is aimed at adults. They want adults to... They see it as their job to educate adults with... What did they call it? Good information. Yeah? Good information.
I know, Nicole. You know what? These people would rather just listen to some random person or somebody on social media. I bet they couldn't even...
To me, you're a random person. Why are you talking? To me, do I know you? You're a random person. Right? So, and you're uploading to TikTok, social media. Do you see what I mean about the lack of self-awareness? And these are the people who they act confused and shocked and dismayed that you don't want to put something in your arm that someone like this is championing, right? This person thinks you're a child. They think they're more enlightened than you. You're a Dorito. You're a weed. Yeah? But they're the enlightened ones. The enlightened ones are behaving like this.
Pass Mr. Jenkins' 9th grade science class.
I totally know what you're saying, Todd. But what are we gonna do?
I don't know. Maybe. Wait. What if we created
the perfect cheer? Fat, Vaccinate! 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 Vaccinate!
Look at that. Look, I'll leave it there. So I've had enough, man. I really have. I'll leave it there. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section below. I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.